Hey, it's Adele from Let's Get Inkie, and today I have a art journal page for you in my junk journal. Now, a lot of people, here's a little peek at some other pages that I've done, but a lot of people, I've mentioned my junk journal over on my main channel, Inkie Quill, and a lot of people have asked what it is. So what it is it's a little book made of scrappy pieces of paper. So I've got some envelopes from junk mail, I've got brochures, notebook pages, all sorts of junk, and that's why I call it a junk journal. I don't have any scrapbook paper in this, so no purchased pattern paper that's meant to be prettiness. So all of the paper I use to make this is all just scrappy bits of paper. And I've made quite a few junk journals, and I've got a whole set ready to put in my Etsy shop, but I just haven't got to it yet. So I'm almost actually finished this junk. Actually, I have finished this junk journal now, so I'll have to make sure I do a flip. If you'd like to see a flip, let me know in the comments down below. So the first thing I'm doing is I'm just using some white gesso here, because especially that yellow paper on the left hand side, it's super porous. So if I put paint straight onto that, it's just going to seep through, and the colors aren't going to be the colors they're supposed to be, and it's just not going to be a fun time. So I used white because it'll give the page a bit more of a consistency across the two pages, and it's also going to give it a bit more strength as well. So I'm adding some washi tape to the middle, just because the papers that were on these pages are a little bit flimsy. So this is a very old photo that I probably would have printed years ago. This was my a lot of people ask how big my scissors are. So there you go, they're about 14 centimeters. But this photo, I think I just printed it on my home inkjet El Crapo printer years and years and years ago, and I had it sitting around because I didn't want to throw it out. It's not the best quality, but I didn't want to scrapbook it because it wasn't shiny. It didn't look like a proper photo. It just looked like I'd printed it on normal paper, which I did. So I'm going to use that today. I'm adding some Tim Holtz tissue paper. It's like pattern tissue paper, and it's gorgeous. And what I'm using for my adhesive is matte gel medium. Now, I will be honest with you. This Matisse brand was on special at the time. I usually get Liquitex matte gel medium. They didn't have it, so I bought this one, and I hate it. It doesn't seem to stick the things, and it's really thin, and I've got such a large pot of it too. So I'm just going to have to grin and bear it, because I'm not buying another one until this one's at least 3/4 used. So all I'm doing here is just adding my matte gel medium with a paintbrush, and be warned, if you do use a paintbrush for gesso or for matte gel medium or gel medium in general, it does stuff up the bristles a little bit. So I have a specific paintbrush that I use for glues and gel medium and gesso. Just be aware of that, because it does stuff it up a little bit. So I added some collage elements, and I already had a good idea of where the photo was going, so I didn't bother putting any things behind that. And all of those collage things, so there was atlas page, there was a bottom of a note page, some old music paper, just bits and pieces. I have a set of drawers in my craft room where I have, in the top drawer, they're tiny drawers. In the top drawer I have little scraps of collage paper, then I have large scraps of collage paper, then I have painted papers, and then I have tissue paper. So it's a really great way just to organize your little scrappy bits in case you're looking just for a tiny piece, or if you want something a bit bigger. This stencil, where'd I get it from? I'm sorry, I don't know where I got this stencil from. It's quite old, and I'm just using some modeling paste through it. And I have this is my use it up journal, so this is where I put all of my extra paint. And if I'm using a stencil, I like to get, twice as much page for half the effort, I guess you could say. So instead of cleaning the stencil, I just go through and I put it on another page in my use it up journal, and then it's done, and I don't have to clean the stencil twice, which for a lazy person like me works out perfectly fine. It's really important when you use texture paste or modeling paste, which are the same thing. I think they are. Don't take that as gospel. I think they're the same thing. That it will affect your stencil. It will affect the shape of it. So you've got to clean it straight away. So today, I know, I'm using the lime green. Now, if you've followed me from my Inkie Quill main channel, you will know my aversion for the colour lime green. Green in general, but particularly the lime persuasion. Well, it's happening. Look at that. There's lime green on a page. Calm down. It's okay. It does work out. So all I did was I sprayed my dilution sprays on there. I think I put a bit of water on just to make them run a bit more. And the thing with this junk journal is the ink sometimes goes on the pages in front and sometimes goes on the pages in the back. It sometimes seeps through the middle. But the great thing is, because it's not a $40 art journal that you've bought, there's no real attachment to it being perfect. And that's what I like about it. So that's my colour done, and I do dry it with my heat gun. Now, if you don't have a heat gun, which is, I've got the hiccups. If you don't have a heat gun like I do, which was originally purchased to do embossing with, that's okay. You could use a hairdryer, or you could just be patient and wait. But I'm not patient. I'm so far from patient when it comes to paint drying. In life, I'm pretty patient, I would say. Don't you reckon, Aaron? Oh, look, he's doing that thing where he's shrugging his head. I would say I'm a teacher. I have to be pretty patient, but yeah, not with paint though. So here I'm just doing a bit of an added effect, which looks a bit strange, but it's super easy and effective. And all you do is you get some water on your fingers and splash it onto the dilutions. Because it's water soluble, it will take on the water and the ink. If you sop it up with a paper towel or a cloth, the ink will go with it, and it gives this mottly kind of bleached look, which I really, really like. It just gives a bit of extra, whoa, where are we going? Oh, it's Poppet. So here's Poppet. Of course, as soon as I start filming a video, you'll know, if you follow me on my scrapbooking channel, the bunnies decide it's time to eat all of the boxes. All of the boxes. It's what they do. So here I am sticking my photo down. Yet? Nope, not yet. So when I'm working in my junk journal, I like to do some collage first, then add some ink and some modeling paste, and then add some stamps, because it's nice to do that before the photo's stuck down, because you can put it behind the photo. This little one, I don't know where it's from. I don't know where that circle one's from, but it's so easy to find circle stamps. It could be a Ranger one, I think. Maybe a Dina Wakely? I'm not sure, sorry. And that little text one, I believe, is from Prima. So I'm using some double-sided sticky tape and a lot of double-sided sticky tape, because unlike my scrapbooking, this photo will be out in the open. So it won't be behind some plastic, it's just out in the open. Now, I did have a smudge on there, so to cover it up, I just put some more stamping. And I really like to do this because it kind of blends the photo into the layout. It doesn't just look like you've smacked it on the top. Adding some of my amazing Tim Holtz Small Talk Tiny Words stickers. And I want to say a huge thank you to the people that have listened to me on Inkie Quill and how much I love these stickers and have sent them to me. I have so many. I am like a pig in mud. I am so happy to have them. I can't wait to use them all. So I'm adding a couple of little phrases. They're just really good for art journaling, because sometimes you just want to make a pretty page but not really write a lot or find a quote or anything. But these are just already done for you. I am adding a little bit of extra glue because they aren't going behind a page protector. I think they just need a little bit of extra assistance. And now I'm doing some scripty font apparently. Yep, there we go, with a Posca paint pen, which is actually working, because sometimes it doesn't work for me. I just have issues with paint pens. I love them, but they don't love me. Does anyone else have that problem? Let me know in the comments below. What is your one art or craft supply that you love but just doesn't always love you back, doesn't always reciprocate? It's like that one relationship where you go, I want it to work, but the other person doesn't want it to work. For me, it's definitely paint pens. So I added some white splashes there with an old chalk texture, which is almost dead, but I'm using it to its last little piece. These little hearts, I have a feeling Aussie girls, I got them from Kmart maybe a couple of years ago, and they're just really sweet, and you got 1 million in the pack. Not really, but you got a lot. I'm still using them, and I bought them a couple of years ago. So I decided to add a bit of a doodly outline because they were blending in a little bit. And I add a couple over here with some PVA glue, smushing it around. I don't know why I paint my nails for these art journal videos. Aaron can attest for this, but pretty much as soon as I finish filming, they're straight back to being the nail polish coming off and having to do them again. So I'm adding some little hearts, and I kind of go for the eye. So your eye is following, it starts at the top. I would say my hand is kind of pushing your eye up the top, and then it kind of drizzles its way along down to the bottom. So I like to put my things in groups of 3s. So I have the 2 little hearts on one side and then the other one on the other. And I did have a wet finger and smudged accidentally onto that heart. So I decided to make it look like I meant to. And I'm done. So this layout didn't really take that long at all. So this is only 2 times speed. So it took about 25 minutes. And I really like how it turned out. There's no story to this. It's just a cute photo. And it's just a reminder to be yourself. So this was I think it was my 23rd birthday party, and it was a vintage nerd party, which, if you know me, suits me to a T. And I still have that skort, and my gosh, it's comfortable. I really wish I could wear it more in everyday life. I think I should. I think I will. So it's important, if you're adding stickers and things in the crease, to bend it as well. So yeah, I think I'm done. Thanks for watching, guys, and stay tuned because I have about 5 more of these art journal pages filmed, and they'll be up in the next few weeks. Bye!